So basically, for about 4 months, I was following a push pull legs program split in which I was training. I was supposed to train 6 days a week, but I was doing it 5 days, skipping the second leg day. In which split, I was training my shoulders 2 times a week. On the push days, Monday and Thursday, I was doing only training my side delts, only lateral raises. This is what I did for a long time. I was switching, doing straight sets to drop sets to partial reps, spamming lateral raises, trying everything. It worked for some time, but after that, it stopped to grow. My delts plateaued heavily. You know, I was trying to do more lateral raises, but it wasn't working. So doing the lateral raises for a long time made me plateau on this exercise, and my strength didn't increase. So I was already constantly training with 7.5 kilos, I remember, not going up, the same weight every time. And I wondered why this happens. You know, I tried to increase the weight, but I just couldn't. So I was plateaued heavily. And I did nothing for it. I just continued doing it. And after that, I incorporated um, overhead press once per week. Changed my program a little bit and started to do an overhead press. So the overhead press, Common said that it works your front delts, but as I started to do the overhead press, I was doing like 30 kilos. I increased it to 40, so it's maybe like 90 pounds. So 22-pound increase, and that gave me a lot of strength carry, a little bit strength carry over to the lateral raises, which allowed me to grow my side delts more. So doing the overhead press gave me more strength to my shoulders, and that made me continue growing my delts, because I said doing the only lateral raises for a long time, I plateaued on these. My delts stopped growing. But as I started doing the overhead press, I was progressively overloading good on this exercise, and I'm still doing it. To progressively overload, because this exercise grew my side delts more than the lateral raises. Because, as I said, it allowed for a great progression overload. And I'm consistently progressively overloading in this exercise, which gives me growth for the future. And of course, it allows me to lift heavier on my lateral raises. And this is what I would recommend. If you're doing only lateral raises but you plateaued, your delts stop growing, you're trying these spamming lateral raises, drop sets, whatever, I would recommend you to add one variation of overhead press at least once per week, and it will allow you to progressively overload, because these overhead presses are better suited to overload because they work more muscles, and it will allow you to grow your side delts more. But if you're seeing progress, of course, don't change it. I didn't start to do the overhead press just because I want to do it. I started doing the overhead press because the lateral raises, I plateaued on lateral raises and my delts stopped growing. So I needed some kind of alternative, some kind of different exercise that will allow me to build my strength again, because getting stronger made me bigger. So I'm still doing the overhead press, but I'm periodizing. So 4 weeks I'm doing barbell overhead press, and then 4 weeks after that I'm doing seated dumbbell shoulder press. You can do, there's a lot of variation you can do. Smith machine shoulder press, seated dumbbell press, standing overhead press, Z press, whatever. A lot of shoulder press variations. They all have a good progression overload, which will allow you to grow your delts more. And this is my advice to you if you want to grow bigger delts. Lateral raises is the most important. It will grow your side delts, but only if you only do the lateral raises, I think you will plateau at some time. So some kind of overhead press once per week, just 2-3 sets to do the bare minimum to get stronger, and that's it. It will allow you to lift heavier on your lateral raises, which will, of course, allow you to build more muscle, build beefy shoulders. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I have no edits, and go and watch my other video on how I grow my legs, and see you in the next video. Take care.